All right, so in terms of dollar index, we had a pretty significant push up. So we are now at a pretty pivotable level in dollar index. So I really want to see what happens on Sunday's open. Are we going to get like a gap or something like that? Because we've just taken out a key level of daily stops, so daily liquidity. Let me actually get this little thing back up. So we've actually taken out this daily liquidity right here. So all the people that were selling on this down move here, they had their stop loss placed above here, right? So their stop loss is resting here. And what do the market makers want to do? They want to push price up there in order to clear out any liquidity that is resting above here. So they've cleared out the money that was resting above there, as well as they've also come into, whoops, sorry guys, still getting used to this thing. So they've also came into this low here, which is an ICT weekly bearish order block low. So since we've taken out the key stops as well as into a key higher time frame resistance level, I don't know if we're going to see some sell-in from here. So are they going to want to push it down before taking it higher, or are they going to just automatically want to shoot this up? So that's why I want to see the price action that we get on Sunday, whether that is, say a gap up or down. It doesn't really matter what they do. It'll just kind of give a better indication into what's going to unfold for the week ahead. But at this very moment, I mean, there are no signs of bearish market structure other than the fact that we've taken out key daily liquidity into a weekly resistance level. So whether or not they go lower from here, I'm not going to try to just make that, guess. And that's something that you really want to make sure that you start to practice in your trading. Don't try to pick the top or bottom of the market. That's something I actually did for a while when I, originally got into trading, and it'll honestly mess you up more times than not, because what'll happen is you'll end up, say you start selling it here, and this market structure is still bullish based off the higher time frame. So they may want to take it, up here above this liquidity here, back up into these equal highs here. So, if you guys don't focus on where liquidity is resting, you need to start looking for things in the market where money would be, right? So take a look at this. We've got equal highs right here above 95 really. We have equal highs sitting right above that. So potentially we could be seeing a longer term move unfold in dollar index all the way up here to 95, right? So we could see a little bit of a retracement before that and then get the continuation. But regardless of what we see, we have to have these things on our charts so we can anticipate potential levels that they would want to trade into next. So you don't want to be picking the top, because how do you know this isn't going to be the top here? You don't. So you have to wait for some sort of indication that they're going to bring this market lower. So we've had a first few indications that they may want to take this lower. And those indications would be the weekly resistance level, which is the bearish order block low, as well as the daily liquidity resting above here. All right, so you can see popped above it here, had a little bit of a retracement. On Friday, we pushed up above it for NFP, then we traded right back below. So this could be like a false top. This could be the actual high. There's no real indication until we get some sort of a breakdown. So in terms of switching direction, I wouldn't want to switch my direction to bearish unless we came back below 90. What is this low here? 90.70. So if we come back below 90.70, then I'll switch my idea to bearish. But and again, if I get some sort of bearish pattern formed in here, like say we get a continued move lower, from here, this would confirm that this down candle right here is an ICT bearish order block. No, I'm sorry. It would be this up candle here. The up candle would be the ICT bearish order block. I'm sorry, I'm getting this mixed up for y'all. This up candle right here would become an ICT bearish order block if we get more selling from here. We need the low of this candle to break and close below with a down candle to confirm that this is an ICT bearish order block. And if we get that, then we could look for a potential retest of that and then short it, into this level and see if we get a break through it. But in terms of market structure, we are still technically bullish on the daily time frame with dollar index. And also, if we take our fib here and we map out this swing, and again, this down candle here is what pushed us above to take out the liquidity above here, right? So it's broken structure. So we're going to use our fibs on this swing, okay? So we could see a retracement all the way back down into, 91.18, 91.20. So that would still hold the bullish idea if we pull back all the way down into here. So that would just be a 79% retracement, and then we could get continuation further to 95. Now, if we break below this, which would be this ICT bullish order block here, if we break below this candle coming in at 90.72, and we can get a retest of that, that should be a potential opportunity to short dollar index, which would promote buying in foreign currency. So GBP USD, Euro USD, all that stuff. So these are kind of the two scenarios that I'm waiting to see what we get unfold in terms of a structural standpoint on the daily time frame. So let me go ahead and take this off and let's actually get into what I have marked out. So I am anticipating overall continuation higher prices. So if I can get a close above this down candle, that would confirm this is an ICT bullish order block, and a retest of that to go long would be a potential opportunity. But we have all of our majors and the dollar index sitting in key higher time frame levels at the moment. So I'm waiting for some sort of indication that we're either going to get a reversal or a continuation before stepping in and trying to take a trade. So let's drop into the 4-hour time frame and let's see what we got. So if you look at this on a 4-hour time frame, what do we have? Type in the chat box what type of trend is this unfolding here? What do we see happening? What are these little circles? So type in the chat box, what type of trend is this? On the 4-hour time frame, what type of trend do we see? Right, exactly, uptrend. So we're not going to be looking to sell this until what? Until we get a confirmation that we've started a downtrend. We don't have that right now. We're forming higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So notice, even in here, it's been holding. If we draw a box, it's really just been holding this consolidation, right? This is just a low consolidation, but we're still holding structure. We're making a low, a high. Whoa, that was bad. So anyways, you can see that we've got a low, a high, higher low, and a higher high, right? So that indicates that we're still in bullish market structure. So we're not going to be looking to sell this until we get what? A lower low formed. So I would like to see this low here at 92.20 broken below. So if we can get a close below that, that would indicate, you know, that sellers are stepping in. And the reason that I want this level to be broken and not just this level here, because this swing right here can just be like a short-term swing within the overall bigger swing. So it can easily, you know, have trapped buyers in here and push back below, take out their stops, and still hold this low in place and continue higher. But if I can get a break below this and then a retest, you know, then we can look for something like that. Then we may get, you know, our series of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, confirming that we've got bearish market structure. And if that's the case, then we can get on long before our 90-70 level is broken. Okay, so this is the importance of, you have to start with a higher time frame to get your idea, right? So we're still expecting higher prices. So at the moment, we're expecting these lows to hold and continue higher. Well, if we don't get that and we start forming lower highs and lower lows, then we may have to switch our idea, which would actually make sense as well, because we do have dollar index at a weekly resistance level and all of the majors at key support levels on the higher time frame. So we could be seeing a reversal unfold, since we've had, you know, a strong push up in dollar and then significant weakness in foreign currency. All right, so now that we know, in terms of a daily, we're in a key weekly resistance level, and then we drop into a 4-hour, we're still forming higher highs and higher lows. So we know that we still have bullish market structure. So until we get a breakdown, we're still going to be looking to buy dollar index. And if you guys were paying attention in the group chat, you've seen on Friday, I posted a picture of this chart here for dollar index, just indicating, I actually have a picture of it right here. So this is actually the picture I posted on Friday, and I said we could get a potential break above this and then a retest for continuation longs on dollar index, or if we get a breakdown below the low, a retest and potential short for NFP. Well, we did come above and break it, but we've pulled back right within the consolidation. So there was no real, there was nice movement on NFP. I mean, we did move about, actually there really wasn't much movement in the dollar index. It formed this wick and only traded up about 50 pips or so. So no significant movement for NFP, but we did make the higher high. But the bodies of the candles did hold relatively similar, and we are back within this range. So I really, to confirm the idea of, are we going to be reversing or are we going to be continuing, a clear breakout of either this low here or this high would give me more of an indication what they're going to be doing for the next few days to potentially even the week's close. So overall, still am expecting higher dollar index. So that would lead me to short setups and foreign currency. So in order to determine what would the better short be with my higher time frame bullish bias on dollar index, I'm now going to look at Euro GBP. And the reason I look at Euro GBP is solely for the purpose of identifying which pair would be the better to trade. Would that be Euro USD or would that be GBP USD? So by looking at dollar index, we're already going into this with the expectation that we're going to have a weaker Euro and a weaker GBP if dollar continues higher. So with that being said, if we look at Euro GBP, let's take a look and see what would be the better opportunity for a pair to trade. So if we look, this gray box indicates the consolidation that we were in since October of 2017. So for months, we were just consolidating here, right? And you can see we formed a low, pushed up, formed a low, pushed up here, then we traded back below. We took out these two equal stops here, equal lows, got a little push up, traded below, and then we took out everybody. Then we pushed up. And then what happened? Then we formed a low, a high, breaking market structure, higher low, higher high, and I'm expecting continuation higher on Euro GBP, potentially into this higher time frame resistance level, which is an ICT daily bearish order block, this up candle here before this down move. So once this candle here closed below this down candle, that confirmed it as an ICT bearish order block. Any trade back up into there could be a potential resistance level. So we could see something like this unfold. Get a push in here and then start to trade lower. Or if the market continues bullish and is very strong, or Euro is strong, then we could just see a break right through that. All right. So with that being said, if we're expecting higher Euro GBP, but we're expecting higher dollar, what pair would be the better to trade? It would be GBP USD, right? So does that make sense? We have Euro pushing higher, Euro GBP pushing higher. So that means Euro is stronger than GBP. So then we look at dollar index and we have dollar index pushing higher. So that indicates weakness for Euro and GBP. So by looking at Euro GBP, we can determine that GBP USD would be the better short because we're expecting higher prices on Euro GBP. So with that being said, I am obviously going to be looking for shorts and GBP USD for the week. So let's actually take a look at Forex Factory for the week, and we see, so we got some FOMC news Sunday, bank holiday Monday for GBP. Okay, so yeah, Tuesday may be a really nice setup for GBP USD. So you can see we've got high impact news during London session for both dollar index and medium impact news for GBP. So we could see a really good setup for GU here, and then maybe a potential opportunity to enter again here during London. I wouldn't look to enter during all of this. This is a lot of news for GBP. New York session on Thursday. So we actually may get a lot of movement in GU this week because we do have a lot of news for GBP. So big pips could be on the horizon. That's good. So let's take a look at Euro USD. Looking at this again, the favorite pair is GBP USD, based off looking at the dollar index and Euro GBP. So you could still look for shorts in Euro dollar, but by using Euro GBP as a supporting pair, I would just personally like to short GBP USD more than Euro. So looking at Euro dollar, we've just taken out key daily stops here and so far have rejected. So we've basically seen the inverse of what we've seen take place in dollar index, which is good. We know the market's in sync. Now, since we're expecting higher Euro GBP, though, we could just kind of see Euro dollar hold this range here. So it could just consolidate while Euro GBP pushes higher and GBP USD pushes lower. So that's kind of how you need to use the three pairs to see the movement that you're getting. So, you know, this, for example, let's draw our box here. So we could potentially just hold price within this red box, right? They've taken out the low, but they may just pull back within here and hold this range for a bit while they let cable continue to drop and Euro GBP continue to push up. So I'll look more at this during the week as it goes on to see if we get anything that may set up better in this pair, but at the moment I prefer GBP USD. So we haven't taken out this low yet on GU, so this is the next stop that I'm expecting. The low comes in at 1.3458. So yeah, that's going to be the next level of downside for GU, which is about 60 or 70 pips from where we're at now. And I mean, who knows? We could gap all the way down here Sunday's open and then take out this liquidity. So we'll just have to see what we get on Sunday. But if we break this and close below it, then I'm going to be expecting continued downside for cable below these equal lows down here. So you can see we got a low and then another low. These are relatively equal, so I would expect this to be my next target. And that comes in at about 1.3027. So that would be mainly 1.3. So 1.300 would be my next downside objective if we break below that. So that'd be a nice 500 pip move if we can get some significant movement on dollar index to the upside. So let's just go ahead and keep this level on our charts here. So yeah, still expecting further weakness for cable. And I wanted to talk about something with you guys real quick while we were on this session. So I did mention, I believe it was Thursday, London session, we were looking at GBP USD for a short. And we went short, but it started to push up. So I did close the position and took a loss of like 12 pips or something like that. And I then posted a chart with this red box saying that we could see a potential retracement into here and find resistance. So the whole reasoning behind that was these three up candles here on a 4-hour time frame were confirmed a bearish order block once this candle here closed below these three. So any move back up into that would have been a solid short, as well as if you map out this swing here, it traded right into 61.8, almost hitting 70.5 retracement level. And I wanted to show you guys this on a 4-hour so you can see what it looks like. You can see that we've got, it's like a doji candle like this, right? It's a down candle that closed bearish, but it pushed up and formed a wick. So if we drop to an hourly, I want you guys to start identifying what these things look like as they're unfolding. So on a 4-hour, you know what that candle looks like. But this is what it looks like on an hourly time frame. Right? It's just a couple candles. One candle trades up into it, this one breaks the low, and then it just sits sideways, right? So you just need to start being able to identify these things as they're unfolding on, say, like an hourly time frame, and also know what they look like on a 4-hour time frame. But that was the whole point of me mapping out this level here. We did have an initial trade into it here, but you see this isn't a valid short because we never had this low form yet. We had to wait for this low to form. Then we draw our fib from this high to this low and look for a potential short in between 61.8 to 79%. And any movement within there is a valid short with your stop loss above here. Okay, so you can see that we've had significant movement after hitting this level. And once we traded away from that, you could have immediately moved your stop loss to break even. So zero risk within less than an hour, basically. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. As far as the week ahead, my primary focus is going to be GU. So I'm going to be seeing what we get going forward. And if we can break this low here. So if we could break this low early on in the week, that would confirm, the sellers are back in. But, even this little push back up into this ICT bearish order block here was a nice little short that took place late Friday evening before market close. So this was an ICT bearish order block. Once this candle broke it, traded back up into it here and pushed off nicely so far. So if we can get a move back up into here, I'll look to short it. early on in the week, or if we break below here, then I'll look to short it on a retest. So either one of those are going to be my favorite setups for GU. So potential push up into here, and if dollar is showing, you know, if at this point dollar is then trading into some level of support, and then starts trading higher, then we would expect GU to trade lower. So this would be my first entry opportunity if I can get another move up into here. And if not, then I'm going to wait for this low here. So, and if we break above this, then obviously I'm going to wait and see if I can get something up here for an entry around the 36.60 level. But you know, that's a ways away, so we have to see if we break this first. But this is the next thing that I'm watching for early on in the week for GBP USD.